Hello, everybody, and welcome back to JoBro Radio, the greatest nerd and pop culture podcast on the planet and all platforms known to man. I am your host, Neo, joined by my fellow co-host, Gage. Say what's up, buddy.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? Hope you had a good day.
And I hope you all had a good day as well. If you're new here, we talk about nerd stuff, we talk about pop culture stuff, we talk about anything we want, things that make us happy, angry. Well, mostly angry for Gage over there. I don't really talk about things that make me angry.
I live in misery.
Yeah. That's a good song.
What, I live in misery?
Yeah.
It's a song?
Yeah, it's a song.
By who?
I don't know. I just know it's a song.
Well, that's a good. Here, I'll play something sad. I don't think I have anything sad on my soundboard.
Professional. Yeah, as you can tell, we're really good at what we do, and we are very, very professional at podcasting now that we're 4 seasons in.
Yeah, we've learned a lot, and by a lot, precisely nothing.
Yeah. Well, we have a topic today. We usually do. But before we get into our topic, we start off with some small talk. So, what do you have to say to the audience and to me that happened to you the past couple of days, chummy boy?
These are really good cookies.
Is that all?
No. I was tempted to leave it there, but no. Well, I got my trip to Dallas confirmed. It's happening.
Oh,
Got my time off and everything. It's officially approved.
nice.
Ordered my train ticket. Gonna be meeting one of my all-time heroes.
I'll be down there for one day probably.
Well, I was gonna say, I mean, that whole plan was for me and other friends, so I didn't necessarily want to like crash that, but
Oh, okay.
it is what it is.
I mean, yeah, but I don't get to see you very often. So, if I get to see you, you're only a couple hours away, I'm gonna come see you.
Depends on what day. I would say probably if you could Friday for a while or something.
I could see how I could see what we can do. Yeah.
Because like I don't think we're gonna be going to the event on Friday. As far as I'm aware. And well, actually probably just not. That's a lot to do back to back when you have to wake up and go to your train station at, 12 in the morning. So
Yeah.
but other than that, that's
And we
pretty
could we
much
could finally go to a bar together maybe.
maybe. Maybe there's one other person that will be there that is not 21 yet, but
Fair enough.
it sucks being older than everyone.
Oh.
It's just not that great. To be completely honest with you.
I'm usually younger than everyone.
Yeah, I know.
Mhm.
Anyway, that's
Which
all I
is
got.
it's interesting cuz like I left when I was 17 to when I went for basic I was 17. I think right no, I was 18 at the time. Yeah, I was 18. Never mind.
Yeah. Then you got married at what, 19 or something?
20. Right around there. Yeah.
I don't know.
Is that all you have? Is that all you have for small talk?
Yeah,
Just the Dallas trip.
I said like twice. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got, and you've just very very selectively ignored that part.
Okay. Well, I wanted to give you time to see if you could like remember something that might have happened.
Oh no, I'm good. I mean, there's the Clutch concert. That's next week, I think, on the 12th. So yeah,
Sick.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now that's about it. That's the only exciting things going on in my life.
I had a very long day at work. Yesterday at the time of this recording or time of the episode.
Stop it. Stop. Don't clarify. All right. Don't just go on.
Yeah. Yeah. We had to do a bunch, not a bunch, but today we had a safety class. that was originally going to be like 4 or 5 hours long. Started at like 8 a.m. and it was for manned pilots, but we had to be there.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know why. Uh,
The answer
just
is the
cause.
same thing as everything else in the military because.
No, the answer to everything in the military is purple.
What?
If you ask a question, someone doesn't know the answer, they just say purple.
Okay, I can think of some holes for that, but continue.
Yeah. But thankfully, I have the best platoon sergeant to ever exist. About 2 hours, and he was like, "All right, you guys can just dip out of here."
Was that the worst part of your day?
Uh, yeah, because I was slipping between in and out of reality that entire class,
Okay,
and
so
the
you're
only thing
like,
that kept
"Oh gosh, my day's been so long. It's been so hard. These 2 hours of my entire fucking day."
no, I mean that wasn't the extent of it. Then we also had to go take another class of
Oh,
the same exact thing that we did like a month ago,
okay.
and get
See,
told the same exact thing we got told a month ago.
I thought it was just that class. I'm like, are you kidding me? You had like a 2 hour class that you got to leave out of early, and you just let that just drag you.
Not, and then we have to take a bunch more classes this coming week of things we already know because there was a helicopter crash in Alaska because that really pertains to us.
Sorry, didn't you already get out of AIT? What is up with all the classes
It's
going
just
on?
safety stuff, like
Who
like
cares?
apparently the army.
Why do they treat you
I
like
don't
teddy
know.
bears now? That's so weird. It's like
It was just agonizing,
every time you
and
tell me
so
about your job, it's like half of what you do is just classes.
hmm
Like you're just constantly
and
getting told stuff that like again, you'll just never ever think about it again.
yeah, and so through that entire like 2 hours that I was there for that class, there was one slide that had UAS pertaining to it, but it wasn't even like about us. It was like, oh, hey, manned aviation. This is how the Gray Eagle operates. Okay, we're done.
Nice.
They were on that slide for 10 seconds, being like, oh yeah, this is how the Gray Eagle does its thing. All right, next slide.
That's great. That sounds
Yeah.
like a valuable use for government budget.
No, no, it wasn't.
Yeah, it's called sarcasm.
Yeah, I know,
I'm
but
still working on it.
yeah, that's about all I have though. I just wanted to get that off my chest and rant about uh how dumb my day was.
Oh, don't worry, you'll have more classes tomorrow.
Yeah, and then I have a three
Maybe.
mile run on Friday.
Do you actually have more classes tomorrow?
Yeah,
Oh, I was just kidding, but I'm not really surprised.
yeah, it's like a safety stand down week for the military, because of what happened with Alaska. So all aviation across all army except mission critical stuff is being like put to a halt for the week.
That's still I still don't think that makes sense. Here, someone
It
screwed up
doesn't.
doing their job, or I don't know, even if it wasn't their fault. It's like that has absolutely nothing to do with you or what you do.
You know, I will say the details of it because it is on the internet. So what happened in Alaska is there was a helicopter mid-air collision.
A mid-air collision between like two
Yeah, so
people.
two helicopter people hit each other.
Oh well, it sounds like they weren't shouldn't have been flying them in the first place.
Oh, yeah, probably.
But I don't know what happened with them. But either way, the point stands. This is like two people, or probably groups of people, who you've never met and never would have met, and now you have to go through all this safety stuff because of something that has not concerned you in any way.
and never really can concern me because I am in a box flying a drone. I'm never going to be in the sky,
Right, unless someone crashes their drone into your box.
which is very hard to do, I will say.
There's a joke I wanted to make, but I don't want to get blacklisted. So I think I'll just leave that there.
I think I know where you were trying to go with that joke, and yeah, we should not say that.
Yeah. Anyway, I actually found out I did come up with some more small
Some more small talk?
talk.
Go for it.
Yeah, we're gonna do this again. Redfall. Redfall was released yesterday and has mostly negative reviews. You know, we decided to
Yeah.
dog on Jedi Fallen Order or Jedi Survivor, and it I mean, there's it's like a good game. It's just it has those god awful performance issues. Is what most people say. You know, even though I ragged it. Yeah, there's not much positive to say about Redfall. It looks.
No, not at all.
Uh, let's see. Let's find a good review that like sums it up.
All the positive reviews I saw were like, I don't know. I feel like kind of biased when it comes to like the developer of Redfall. The game's definitely not worth $70 from what I've seen, gameplay and all that. And
Not
I don't
even
think I've ever
close.
seen a mostly negative, like all reviews on Steam for like a game that I was like really excited for.
I've never seen a mostly negative reviewed game from a game that was not supposed to just be a like intentionally supposed to be a mostly negative. Let's see. Another strong contender for
The,
worst PC port of the
there's
year.
there's one positive one here. It's just it's amazing in all caps. I'm just like, no, it's not. Um,
Oh, here. This is one. Let me read this one. To preface, I'm running the following specs: 32 gigabytes of RAM, Ryzen 5800. I don't know if that's good or not.
okay,
Oh, that's
this
his
guy.
CPU. Shut up. I'm reading. Don't interrupt me. Gigabyte 4070 Ti. Okay. So this is someone who has probably used daddy's credit card. 2 terabyte SSD. I think he got very overly specific with that. Said how many monitors he has and everything. Uh,
Yeah, like that matters.
I don't understand the negativity surrounding this game. The game runs fine for me, outside of a few frame drops, usually happening when loading into new areas, and only lasts about 1 to 2 seconds. With epic settings, DLAA plus frame gen, I'm able to maintain 140 FPS with no issues. I might I might be more of the exception and not the rule, though. Okay, so what the fuck do you mean you don't understand the negativity then? When you just admitted that you're not part of when you're an exception.
Um, Arcane is a AAA company, right?
I have no idea. Also, I thought
Well,
games were supposed to be about fun. From what I've read, a lot of people are having fun with the game. Why are all the reviews negative? Then read more because you
yeah.
have only read like the first two things in your face, which is weird because the first, I don't know, 80 things I saw in my face were negative.
So I don't know if you watched any gameplay on it, but the combat is brutally easy.
I
Uh,
know. It's a Bethesda game, of course it is.
yeah, and this guy said, "I'm barely out of the starting zone, but I'm loving it." Like, how are you barely out of the starting zone? You could play that game on max and probably max difficulty, probably beat it in like 4 hours.
I don't know. Anyway, more review. The game looks fine to me. Graphics are fine for the art style they're aiming for. Yes, I know there are missing textures and reused assets, But if you're more worried about things that don't even affect gameplay, then I don't know what to tell you. Seems like people forget that a lot of open world games face these issues. It's not new, it's not recent, and it's going to continue. There is not one single person complaining about reused assets. Not one. You want I can list
Mm,
games that reuse assets, like every single game that exists, because that's what you do. You know, when you have something so big, you can't make I don't know, whatever. This guy's kind of an idiot. Uh this hang on, where did I stop at? This game is basically Borderlands with vampires. Gunplay is fun. It's gratifying when unloading into a bad guy, and there's tons of guns to find in this game. I've only played about 2 hours so far, but from what I've seen and experienced, it definitely seems like it's going to be an enjoyable experience all around. I'm also loving the environment. It's got a creepy Stephen King small town vibe to it. And when you're up in the high areas, like the mountains overlooking the town, to me it was a sight to see. Lastly, the co op. Now, I've never been one for co op, but the option is there, and from what I've read, it's actually really fun. Could this game have used a few extra months in development? Sure, extra development never hurts. But for what they released, to me at least, is a good product. A product in which you can see the developers put their hearts into it. Just a few minor bugs to be ironed out, like frame drops and enemy pathing and some AI issues, whatever.
God.
Yeah, just
This guy has
you
the
have way, way too much optimism and
yeah.
you're giving way too much credit to AAA developers, to be honest.
All right.
Like,
Like
yeah, no, for one, should have, I mean, you're right about one thing, should have used some extra development, but not because it won't hurt, but because it hurts that they didn't.
mhm.
It's not like they could have ironed out a few bugs. No, your game doesn't work. Your
Yeah.
product is faulty and you're selling it for $70. Like, how many times? Why are people still excusing this garbage? Like, what is it?
I
This release now, fix later shit needs to end. And it's only AAA developers doing it. Like,
right.
if an indie developer releases a game, obviously that's gonna have issues because it's probably like two dudes in their garage making it.
Uh-huh. But
But
like
like, you have hundreds of people working on these games, and they suck. There are only three good reviews that I have seen on here.
there's only like one that I saw was like genuinely a positive review. Others were just like brainless
Oh, here's
things or
one.
bashing on people who have negative reviews.
I got one. I think the negative hype may be somewhat unwarranted. It reminds me a lot of the Borderlands games, though with an arcane art style. As such, the story isn't as compelling as it might otherwise be, but it's funny and entertaining. Is it groundbreaking or incredibly compelling? No. Is it a fun time? It can be. Performance for me is high enough. I turned on VSync to keep from needing to run my GPU too high, though it does drop to 60 FPS in some places. This is without DLSS or other techniques, though my system is on the higher end of the spectrum. It hasn't crashed on me so far either. It does have graphical bugs at times, like floating baddies. Is it? But it's no worse than many other games that have had such issues at launch. Okay, again, that does not excuse the poor release. And secondly, everything you listed warrants it. It is someone's right to hate a game, like, no matter what. You know, I and this is another dude with like a high end PC.
Yeah.
I feel like this is one situation. I haven't actually read most of these negative reviews, but it seems that uh the people that have the high unlike Jedi Survivor, if you have a super high end PC, you might actually be okay playing this game if it's high end, you know. But for someone like me, this probably would make my PC explode.
Right.
Uh,
I feel like a lot of reviews are skewed because of what is in people's machines, and then there's other things like when people post like day one gameplay videos and then like streamers like, oh, this game sucks. I think that like also makes people like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get out of the bandwagon. This game sucks.
well, you see, and that's where you would need to, and that's why reviews can be picky because it's like you have someone with a super high end PC and they're like, yeah, it's fine. And then someone with a low end saying it's bad. You need to judge it more. Now when people with high end PCs are playing a game where the recommended is like you could say like a 3060 and then they're getting 30 FPS on it and hitching and whatnot, I trust them
Right.
because well, generally, I mean,
I mean, I
I'm
like to
skeptical
judge
of
the
everyone, but
at least the people who like post their setups in the reviews or whatever. I judge the ones that are is most similar to my system.
well, I mean, I've read reviews from people who are like they're trying to play a game that requires a 3060 Ti and they leave just a negative review absolutely slamming the game but listed they have like a and they like list their
Wait.
requirements and they have like a 1660
Yeah, I was
and
about to
they're trying to
say,
play something with like a 3060 Ti or whatnot and they're slamming it. I'm like, you absolute moron. That is the
you buffoon.
that is the nicest thing I can say about you. You are a moron. You're just going to slam this game when you are not your PC is not good enough for it. I'm sorry.
Right.
This is not a game problem. This is actually just a you problem. You suck. You're
Okay.
specifically your
Well,
PC sucks, but
I think that's enough for our game rant
CPU
tangent.
fall is the name of one of the
Yeah, I saw that.
reviews. I'm gonna
Yeah,
read that.
our daily gaming news segment, what we'll call it.
That might be a new thing. I
Yeah.
considered it.
So the topic that I have today, um, we haven't done a topic like this in a while. We're going back to Reddit for some funny ha-has.
Ooh, I
Yeah,
like
so
it.
I'm gonna share my screen with you. Um, there we go.
Hang on, I'm giving a Steam award to the guy that said CPU fall.
So
All right.
today we are looking at the Am I the A-Hole subreddit, and we're gonna be judging these stories and telling them if they are the a-hole or not.
Well,
And our opinion is fact.
I am a professional a-hole, so I should be really good at this. Oh,
All right. I will
hang
let
on.
you read the
Wait.
first one,
Hang
buddy.
on. No, you go and read the first one. There's something going on with a cable down here.
Okay. Am I the a-hole for telling my wife the lock on my daughter's door does not get removed till my brother-in-law and his daughters are out of the house? That's the title. My brother-in-law, Sammy, lost his home shortly after his divorce 10 months ago. He moved in with us and brought his twin daughters, Olivia and Sloane, 18, with him a couple months ago. His sisters, my wife, and I have one daughter, Zoe, 16, and she and her cousins aren't close, but get along fine. Olivia and Sloane have no respect for Zoe's privacy. None. They used to walk in her room and take everything they could get their hands on: makeup, phone accessories, clothes, school laptop, etc. Zoe complained a lot, and I even asked the girls to respect Zoe's privacy and stop taking things. My wife and Sammy have no issue with this. After all, they're girls, and this typical teenage girl's behavior. I completely disagree. Last straw was when Zoe bought a $60 Mac makeup kit that looks like a pianist that she saved up for over a month, and one of the girls, Sloane, took it without permission and ruined it by mixing shades together while using it. Don't know much about makeup, but that's what Zoe said when she found the kit on her bed. She was crying. I told my wife, and she said she'd ask Sloan to apologize, but I got Zoe a lock after I found she was moving valuable belongings out of the house because of this incident. Sammy and his daughters saw the lock and weren't happy. The girls were extremely upset. Sammy asked about it, and I straight up told him. He said, "My daughters aren't thieves, and it's normal that girls of the same age borrow each other's stuff." He said Zoe could easily get another makeup kit for 15 bucks from Walmart and shouldn't even be buying expensive adult makeup in the first place, and suggested my wife take care of this defect in Zoe's personality trying to appear older than she is. He accused me of being overprotective and babying Zoe with this level of enablement. I
I
told him this.
I real quick, I'm sorry. I think that they meant she, right?
Maybe.
Because yeah, because
No,
it's
he accused me. The dad of the two girls accused the other dad.
what?
So
Oh, oh, I see.
the
The dad of the
the
stepdaughters or
twins,
something. Yeah.
the cousins, yeah.
Okay.
I told him this. I told him this between my wife and me. But we shamed for me for putting a lock on Zoe's door for her cousins to see and preventing them from spending time with her. I was supposed to treat them like daughters, but then demanded I removed it. But then I said this lock does not get removed till her brother and his daughters are out of the house. She got mad. I was implying we kicked them out and her family hate me for this. So I reminded her that I let Sammy and his family move in, which is something her own family refused to do. She should start with shaming, blaming them for not taking their own son and nieces and granddaughters in. If it wasn't for her family unwillingness to help, we wouldn't be dealing with this much disturbance at home. Everyone's been giving me and Zoe this silent treatment, and my wife is very much upset over this. Can I say once more, use punctuation, please, Redditors?
They won't. Well, I started or I stated this before. You know, I'm a professional a hole. I do it all the time. I do it for fun. You know,
Yeah.
I can confidently say that this gentleman, this man, this fine dude. What's his name? Does it say? Probably not.
Uh,
No.
Only
Whatever.
in Quebec 9.
Yeah. Whoever this homie is. No, you're not. You're absolutely not. As a matter of fact, I would say the biggest a hole in this story is the wife. It is absolutely the
Yeah.
wife. Why would you not think about your daughter that, like your own daughter, with that much care? You're taking the side of what, a cousin and a brother? Well, still one of your own kids.
So,
But
the other guy is the wife's brother.
right, okay, well that's still confusing. But no, absolutely not. I mean, you look out for your kid. And even then, genuinely, what is the harm of putting a lock on the door, right? It's like you can ask if you need something. If you
Right.
ask, the lock would have never been put on anyway. Now you can still ask, but you're upset that you can't just go in and take whatever you want, where you what what you want, whenever you want it, you know. So, like, they're making this problem. No, not the a hole, and Zoe obviously isn't either.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, keep that lock on. Screw everyone else. They suck.
Hmm.
Anyway, uh, oh, this is a very long one. Uh,
Mine was long.
yeah, but I don't have my glasses. Give me a minute. Let me.
You want to choose a different one? Here,
Yeah,
I'll scroll and
that's.
you can read titles until you find something you want to read.
Oh, hang on. Do that one, the one with the wallet, the one you're on right now. I love these ones. Okay. Um, My sister-in-law, Amy, in quotes, always comes to visit from out of town. She stays with us instead of a hotel and always wants to go to expensive restaurants. She always conveniently forgets her wallet or domes up with or comes up with some excuse as to why she can't pay her share. She has implied that since I make much more money than her, I should be the one to pay. No, not my husband should pay, but me specifically. I do make a fair amount of money, but not so much that I can treat someone every time they come into town. Nonetheless, in the past, I have just paid the bill and asked her to pay me back. She never has. She has made a reservation at an extremely expensive restaurant last night, and before we left, I made it clear that I wouldn't be paying her bill. This is where I might be the a-hole, and I'll admit I got this move straight from an episode of Two and a Half Men. As we were leaving her and my husband went to the car. I pretended I forgot something and went back inside. I found her wallet sitting right on top of her suitcase. I put it in my purse and we went to the restaurant. When we were done eating, I asked for separate bills. She said no, we need one bill because she forgot her wallet again. I reached in my purse and said, "This wallet." She was extremely furious. She said that I should not have touched or grabbed her wallet. So, am I the a-hole for taking her wallet and bringing it to the restaurant? Um, I don't think I'm gonna read the edits, but basically, the girl who forgot her wallet found this Reddit, saw the negative comments on it, and the support for the poster. I would say no, but I do think that is a little. I mean, it's petty, but it's very deserved. Like that's not
Yeah, I agree.
that's not unreasonably petty. Like you have someone taking the initiative. They're making the plan to go to this expensive restaurant, and then they are refusing to pay. They're refusing to pay, and then outright pretending they can't.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, if it's a constant thing, obviously, because she said it happened multiple times.
So yeah, no, not the a-hole. I would do it. Honestly, I wouldn't have even presented the wallet. I would have just paid for the whole bill on that wallet. Now that
Just use her.
I would
That,
just use her
yeah.
wallet. Now that's me because I'm an a-hole. That would make me the a-hole. And even I mean, you could probably justify that in some way because it's like, well, I've paid for the whole bill a million times. That's absolutely true. Still the a-hole if I did that.
Yeah.
But I'm willing to bear that honor. So
Yeah.
notice how
So,
I didn't say burden.
yeah. Yeah. So, definitely not the asshole with her.
Nope.
Okay. So, next one.
I love judging people.
Am I the a hole for pretending to get fired when customers get a temper with me? I am a
Hmm.
high schooler with a weekend job at a coffee shop. My coworkers who work weekends are James, the owner's son. He goes to my school. He's a shift manager, but it's not a real formal thing. He's a friendly guy. Danielle, a college student who sometimes works weekends too. So sometimes customers will come in and just be angry about such little stuff, like literally blow up about nothing. I don't know if they're in a bad mood already or looking for someone to take it out on or what, but it's a lot. Like how sad you, yeah, like how sad so you were have to be a grown ass man taking your anger out on high school and college kid. How sad do you have to be? I imagine is what he would try to write. So James and I were joking about having little fun with them and hopefully getting them off our backs. So one day I was at work and some guy was having a temper about how we don't make the coffee hot enough, which I couldn't do a thing about because I gave it to him right out of the machine. So James came in and was like, "Sir, is there a problem here?" And the guy started ranting at him too. So it was just like, "OP, this is unacceptable. You're fired." I started acting real sad, like, "No, please don't fire me. My family needs the money. I need this job, please." And he playing up being a hard ass, telling me to take off my apron and leave. The angry guy started to backtrack, like it isn't that big of a problem. You don't need to fire her over it. I didn't mean it. And James was like, "No, we pride ourselves in the best customer service." Of course, after all that drama, I still had a job. We were just acting, and we've done it a couple times whenever a customer will lose her temper at Danielle or I. James will just storm in and fire us. And almost every time the person has come in angry will apologize and say they didn't mean it. It's kind of satisfying making people realize their actions might actually have consequences. Anyway, I was telling my friends from school about this, and a few of them thought it was mean prank. To let someone go away thinking they've gotten someone who desperately needs the money fired. Am I the a hole for this joke?
Um,
No.
when it
No.
comes to jokes, my answer is always no. Really, no. A joke is a joke. Okay. And secondly, they're not actually getting fired. And B, what's what's happening is you have these people who are angry. It's literally like they said, they're angry about other things probably or upset, and then they just
Mhm.
and it's like they'll have that small thing, the coffee's not hot enough, and then they'll take it out on the workers. You know, it's like, well, there are such thing. There's these things in this world. We call them Karens usually, and they go places, and then they actually pick on people and try to get them fired for nothing, basically, right? It's like
Right.
that's what these people do, except they're not actually saying fire this person. My coffee's not hot enough. It's like, so yeah, like I could understand the joke of just firing the like pretending to fire people, and then they immediately come back and say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't really mean it. No, I think it's a good.
Mhm.
I think it's a fresh wake up call. So no, not the a hole.
So all the ones I'm seeing right now are like what people have voted not the a-hole. Do you want to look at one that people think they are the a-hole?
Yeah, I want to find one where there is an a hole. Uh, am I the a hole for? Wait, no, I want to read the title. Let me see. Am I the a hole for how my dad acted at Fred Loya office? I don't know what that is, so no. I'm the a hole for being rude to my mom after she called me a psycho. Am I the asshole for wanting more of my mom's time? That sounds like a weird one. Go ahead and click on that one.
This one?
Yeah, maybe. Depends on how long it is. Oh, here we are. Okay. Uh, my mom and her husband make frequent trips to visit my older brother and his family, roughly 2 to 3 times a year. 2 to 3 times a year? You call that frequent? This is expensive for them as we live in the south and my brother lives on the west coast. Okay, this doesn't sound like it's that bad. Um, Anyway, in the West Coast, a conscious decision he made and chooses to remind us often, but that's beside the point. Mom and her husband uh, go and spend up to a week at a time there to help my brother and sister in law with their multiple kids. They go as far as to stay up with the baby at night so that my brother and sister in law can get some sleep. My issue is when it was my turn to have a baby, I don't feel like my mom and her husband put the same amount of effort or concern. My mom came to stay with me. We only lived 20 minutes apart for a week when my baby was born, except only during the work day. And by the end of the week, she was only coming to help in the morning. When I ask my mom if she'll watch the baby while I go to a doctor's appointment or run an errand, the only way she'll do it is if I bring the baby to her house because it's easier that way. The one time they uh, came to my house to babysit so I could get some much needed things done around the house, they got bored after a couple hours and started bugging me to finish my chores. Am I reading too much into this? Am I being childish? Should I stop asking my mom for childcare? Yeah, just cut out your mom. You're not the a hole.
Yeah.
I thought
No,
this.
like
I felt okay.
Mm.
So people rated this guy as the a hole. Is that what I was
yeah.
picking up? Uh, what are the comments? I want to know what their excuses are.
Uh this guy said no actually.
Nah, sounds like a quantity versus quality thing. Seeing her dissing grandkids only a few times a year. She's seeing your kids all the time, I assume, like multiple times a month. Oh, okay, I see. No, that guy voted yes.
It said nah on it. I'm not sure.
Nah, sounds like a quality over. He didn't
This
clarify.
guy voted yes, this guy voted yes.
Okay, stop telling me they voted yes. I want to read their things. I think part of the difference is it's easier to get to you. It would make more sense to spend additional time when she has to go further away because she can't do that often. I think you're expecting too much. You have the ability to bring your children to your parents for watching more. Okay, that's not the point.
Yeah.
That's not at all the point. You have your family making expensive trips, you know, halfway across the country basically, and spending a week to do everything, but but then your parents won't drive 20 minutes away to spend even a whole day there while you get take care of things.
Yeah, like
Like I don't
I
I don't
feel
care how I don't care how often they see the grandkids or whatnot. I don't care. It's not important. You are giving this other sibling, other child, way more consideration.
yeah, I think people miss that. Like they're not putting the same, care or love or consideration into the other kid who just had a kid
Yeah,
himself
it is not
as they
the
do for the
same.
one that's far away.
I mean, it's true, easier to get to. It would make sense if they weren't as like enthusiastic about it. I like that would make sense, but that's stupid. How often does your mother babysit you? I've
Once every
actually,
2 weeks.
uh, okay, wait a minute. I've asked her to babysit a handful of times, maybe once every 2 weeks. How can you be jealous of what time is spent with your brother and family then?
No, he's
Uh,
not angry about it. He just wishes she put the same kind of care and consideration
how
into
can you?
like
It
what.
didn't say angry. How can you be jealous? How can you be
Well, I
jealous?
don't know. I feel like jealousy is entangled with anger at some instance or
Well,
at
look,
some level.
here's the thing. Even if that, because I mean, if it's like once every 2 weeks, for one, depends on how long I would say, because again, you have family doing it for a whole week across the country. But it depends. Even if they are doing it often and they're complaining about it, you know, like if she did it for a whole week with him and like moped about it the whole time, but will go across the country and have a great time doing it for the other brother. That is that is still a problem.
Yeah,
Like,
because she's motivated. She's excited to go spend time with her other grandkids, but she feels like watching this guy's great kids is a chore for some reason
yeah, pretty much.
instead of spending quality time with your grandkids.
I don't know. Maybe I'm not reading this right. Maybe I'm missing clues, but I genuinely don't think that guy's the a-hole. Or maybe I'm biased. But for arguing with my husband about his job. Oh wait, I love those. Arguing
This
with my
one,
husband. Yeah, that one.
okay, I'll read it. My husband, male 27, and I, female 25, have been married for 5 years and together for 9. I'm a graduate school I am in graduate school and have been very busy lately. I'm at school all day and doing homework studying most of the night. My husband has been at his current job for a year and now he loves it. He is our sole provider and pays for everything, and I'm pursuing my degree. Problem is, I feel like ever since he started his new job, things have felt off. It's hard to explain. It's a fancy job and he makes good money, and he has made many friends there. I am proud of him and happy for him. He goes out to lunch with friends often, has group texts with them, and often will answer emails and texts when we're together. The thing is, my time is so limited with him because of my schedule, so I really try to be present during that time. He is, on the other hand, often seems to be preoccupied with work and friends. I'm wondering if I'm the asshole for constantly bringing school home, which is very necessary, and then getting offended and hurt when he brings work home. And I can't just get over this out of sync feeling with him. It's hard to explain.
Hmm. This is actually an
Mm,
interesting one.
yeah.
I'm gonna say yes though.
You gonna say yes?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. You bring work home all the time. It might very well be necessary, but I mean, even if he doesn't need to, I don't believe it's fair that you get upset and offended when he brings work home with him, whatever that means. I'm pretty sure he's just like working from home. You know,
I mean,
like
I would have to ask the husband of his perspective because if all he sees when he comes home is his wife studying or doing homework and everything, he probably feels really disconnected as well. So that disconnection is like going both ways. So
well,
he,
well
does
either
work and hangs out with his friends.
Well, either that or it's like he sees she's busy and he doesn't want to bother her, so he's just like, "Oh,
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, I'll go do this." But
Exactly.
like, I mean, either way, in this case, from what we know right now, I would say, yeah, you. I mean, not like maliciously, but you are. It's not
A
really
hundred
that.
percent.
It's not really that you're the a hole. It's that you're being the a hole, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
because you're, you know, like I said, if he's like working from home or he's, you know, just bringing friends home or whatever, and you're just, working on school stuff, like you really need to talk to him about that, you know,
right.
because chances are, I'm willing to bet this sounds like a guy who doesn't know what he's doing, right? Like as far as how she's feeling, like he doesn't know that this is bothering her like at all,
hmm
you know.
And like,
So,
you can't expect him to give you a lot of time when from this post we're reading that she's busy pretty much all of the time.
well, what she's saying is that during the free time she tries to be present, or whatnot. But he's even on the free time, he's preoccupied with other things. I'm like, okay, well, honestly, he sounds like a busy guy too. Like he needs time with his friends. Now and to extend an olive branch to her though, that is a bit of a trap because you should not be putting your friends on a higher priority scale than your wife. You know,
Right. But
but
it's also work. So whenever she's not doing homework or studying or whatever, he's either working or talking to friends or
right.
whatever.
But this is a situation where it's like, I mean, like I kind of get the feelings or whatnot, but like you really need to like talk to him about that. Uh,
For sure.
and don't
This is actually
don't let
22
that
hours ago.
sit. Yeah,
This was
really.
this was really recent, so Jessica Cole 11. Listen to this podcast. Take our advice.
Yeah,
Should
no.
I comment that?
Listen, no, 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 no. Well, I mean, if you want, but yeah, what was it, Jessica Nicole?
Yeah,
Yeah. Uh, I'm not gonna say that you're the a hole, but that the feeling that's a bit of an a hole feeling, you know. Just don't let it go too far. Just talk to him. Tell him that you want to spend more time together. Cut back on maybe the friends at least or something like that. Let him know.
yeah.
That'll probably fix your problem. Sounds like a good guy. I'm sure he'll listen.
All right, your pick.
Um, am I the a hole for defending a friend against a rumor?
I feel like
For
you have to
ordering a
defend.
pizza for my siblings and eating it. Absolutely. I love these. I 17 male. I don't know why I clarified that. Ordered a medium pizza to share with my siblings, 16 and 20 last night. Uh Sister and a brother. My sister was at her job and my brother said to save stuff for him because he wasn't hungry. Okay. 30 minutes after the pizza arriving, I ended up having my fifth slice. A few minutes pass by, and still my siblings haven't shown up. An hour passes, and I decided to eat another slice, leaving three slices left. And before I could finish it, my sister arrives home, and my brother finished his movie. Okay, wait a minute. I have a thought about that. Both of them are dumbfounded that I ate so much, and mad at me for eating almost the whole pizza. I had been hungry for hours because I didn't eat lunch or breakfast earlier that day. My sister then gets into an argument with my brother over this and decides to leave home and pick up food since she hadn't eaten dinner. My brother blames me for making her leave and starts lecturing me about how bad of a brother I am for treating them just to eat all of it. I don't. Okay. This has been bothering me all day. Am I the a hole? Not even close to
Yeah,
being
I
the a
feel
hole.
like I don't know why, but I feel like you wrote this for some reason.
No, it sounds like something I would write, except I would never offer it to anyone else, and no one would even know that a pizza was ordered because it would already be gone.
Right.
But
I mean, that's still three
okay,
slices. Three
I'm
slices you can still eat.
I'm genuinely gonna say no because a pizza arrives and it was an hour. An hour passed. The pizza would have been cold by then.
Yeah, okay, so I am tipping it from a different perspective here. You're a 17-year-old guy. Why'd you only order one medium pizza with your
That
16-year-old
is the
sister and
that is
20-year-old brother?
that is
That
the
is the
most
asshole move.
that
Only
is
ordering one medium pizza.
yeah, that's the a-hole move. But him eating the pizza, no. But yes, you are an a-hole for some reason thinking that one medium pizza between three people, two of them young men, was a smart move.
Hmm.
Like, no, if like I don't even do that for like I order two medium pizzas all the time, and my grandma doesn't really even eat much pizza, right?
Yeah, and you eat those for yourself usually.
No, well, not when I order pizza for like the family, because I get like a meat lovers, which is for me and dad, and then I order another pizza, which is like veggie lovers. And then what's
You
weird is
know,
my grandma will have like one slice of the veggie lovers and then eat two of the meat lovers, which is like me and dad's cut. I'm like,
so
why?
I ordered the big New Yorker from Pizza Hut one time.
I love that
It came
thing.
with like 6 big slices of pizza, right? I ate like 5 of those.
I ate all of them. I ate the whole thing by myself.
Well, I had to share with my, you know, yeah,
Very pregnant wife.
yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't have a pregnant wife at all. So just in case you didn't know, yeah, no, I ate an entire New Yorker by myself, which is not really that impressive of a feat. I'm gonna be honest.
Hmm.
I was slightly disappointed by it, but it
It's
was
good.
tasty.
It
It,
tastes good. Yeah,
it
it
was
tastes good.
tasty. It just like it was like the crust wasn't like that thick, but whatever. What?
Mm.
Am I the a-hole for refusing to let my daughter know my baby's gender early? I can probably already just say no, but go ahead because this person was rated the a-hole.
I'm not gonna read this because usually at 12 weeks the gender is indecisive, and that's what this was made. So no.
Oh, so the answer is probably no anyway. I don't know.
The answer is unclear info, not enough info.
Okay, gotcha.
Am I the a hole for feeding someone else's kid?
Uh, well, that is an interesting one by the title.
I don't think I was, but maybe I'm wrong. I want your opinions. My two kids are 9 and 7. I was going to order a Happy Meal from McDonald's. To do that, I had to go out in front and ask them which one they wanted. My kids were playing with their neighbors who are 10 and 6 years old. My neighbors asked if they were having some as well, and let's be real here. It's not expensive, and I've only ever fed them once before, so this is really not a regular thing. There was a very brief exchange between me and the 10-year-old who said they hadn't eaten anything yet. Bear in mind, I was writing this down, and it's 7:40. I feel bad enough that my kids are only now getting a meal after picking them up from childcare. I just happened to ask if they have McDonald's often, and they said never. I don't remember the whole conversation. So the food was delivered, and I told my neighbors' kids, they could eat on the front lawn. Everyone is happy. I go inside for a few moments. When I'm back, I hear shouting outside. I hear my neighbor's kids saying something back that there is an argument going on between the neighbor and her kids. I'm stepping out of the door because I already know about the food because it's obvious from what my neighbor is saying. She is in my garden, dragging her kid by the arm out of my garden and yelling at them. She yells at me for feeding them. I really do not remember much of what was said because I'm still a bit shocked and embarrassed. It was definitely loud enough for the rest of the neighbors to hear in their homes. I haven't gone to speak with her or tried to explain, make peace or anything. I only asked my kids to come inside and finish eating at the table. Be honest with me, is what I did bad or wrong? I have no idea what to say to the rest of my neighbors.
Hmm.
I mean, if you don't really know the parents, then I'd say, yeah, you shouldn't feed other people's kids without permission unless like they're close, you know?
Um. Yeah, that's. I don't know. I would. I think in this very, very exclusive incident, it's like it's not like the kids were starving, were they?
No, okay, wait, never mind. I
They
think
weren't.
she's not the a-hole because the other mom was vegan.
Oh, she's not the a-hole because the mom of the neighbor's kid was vegan.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, not the a-hole. Move on.
yeah, no.
Get that kid some real food. Uh, for wanting to tell my fiance's uncle his comments aren't acceptable. Okay, wow, Jesus, people keep texting me all of a sudden. Forgetting an argument. What is, man, people have these, what do these people get up to in their day-to-day life? Jeez.
That's a good question.
For accidentally insulting my manager's friends. I'm generally, I'm, I don't think you really insult people on accident, really. Uh, Depends on the kind of insult. I'm not gonna read that one scroll. I don't like any of these. Am I the a-hole for wanting my boyfriend to donate 4 large bins of books he's never read? Interesting. Go ahead and pull that one up. Oh my gosh, dude. Why do these people always write such a thesis on these things? Um, Context overflowing. I'm not. I don't know if I'm gonna read the whole thing. My boyfriend and I bought our first place together in July 2022 and have never lived together. Prior to living together, I would only go to his place on weekends. When he moved his stuff in our place, he had I thought it was six large bins sitting in our garage. The lids couldn't even fit as the contents were overflowing. They are all books. Each bin has what seems to be over 100 books easily. None of them are read. All of them are self help books like Millionaire Man or Get Your Shit Together type books. He has accumulated these books for years. Some are over $30. I'm sure some are 50. It must be about 10K worth of brand new unread books. I view it as a clutter. I know he has no intention of reading them because he just doesn't read. Honestly, don't know why he wastes his money buying them. It's like an addiction. He will see the title of the book and want to apply it to his life. The issue is he doesn't. He's 45 years old and is living paycheck to paycheck pretty much. He is over he has over 30K in debt from stupid spending, etc. Example, these books he's never read. If he actually read those books and applied them to what he's read, I'd lay off him. I got in his case a few months ago because our garage is not a place for these bins and ended up donating 2 bins to Big Brother. Okay, so it is 4. I watched the guy attempt to pick up a bin and he had to get his buddy from the truck to help him pick up the other side of it. Was that heavy, whatever. Fast forward to today, he cleaned out the garage and wanted me to see the progress. I saw 4 bins in the corner and asked him what he's planning to if he's when he's planning to donate the books. We got in a fight over his refusal to donate them. He ended up hauling them upstairs and stuffed the bins in his side of the closet. Okay. I am so
Don't read
irked
the
how
last
he.
part.
What? Why?
Yeah, it's just pointless. It's just her ranting.
Oh, it's just ranting. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, mm, that again, I'm gonna say no. And I never thought I would say this. I honestly thought I would take the side of the books. Like as soon as I saw that, I'm like, yeah. But there's some interesting factors in this. For one, you're in debt and you're buying these books and wasting more money on things that could help you, but then you're choosing not to do the thing that, lets them help you. Uh Really ultimately it's like my number one pet peeve. You're wasting it. You're wasting
Right.
space, you're wasting money, you're wasting the books themselves. You're wasteful. You're a wasteful scumbag. So no, not the a-hole. Donate those books
Yeah.
or sell them.
Maybe some.
Yeah,
Yeah,
how about you
really. You could
sell
probably
them?
sell those.
You're
She said
30K and
about 10K.
30K in debt. You could cut a third of that off.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's a pretty straightforward one. I'll leave this up to you. Am I the a hole for being so insensitive? Well, generally, the definition of insensitive is being an a hole, so.
Yeah. My ex-boyfriend is no longer friends with me because of how I acted this past year. I did not know I was being a bad friend. I made jokes that she was not comfortable with and mentally hurt her. I thought she was okay with it, but oh, was I wrong. I told her in the past if I ever said anything or did something that bothered her, I would stop. The only thing that she can do because I can't tell people's emotions well or how they feel or even joke sometimes due to autism. I have been going through a lot of personal stuff that is like super bad but isn't an excuse. I called her names and things and commented on what she did, but it was all a joke besides something sometimes the commenting, which I will admit was heavily guilty for, but it was like I didn't want her to get bullied, which she already was and she had to go to therapy for. I feel like I added on top of that and I didn't mean to do it. I found out of nowhere because if she was mad, she would let me you know, and she was never mad with me. In fact, I was favorite friend, but her other friends hated me. First one hated me because I am a gay male who thinks I ruined the planet, and the other, I do not know. I don't understand why she hangs out with any of them, especially the homophobic one. She's pan, so my best friend is suspecting they manipulated her into this, which is something they would definitely do. Besides, that's because only 50-50 chance. Am I the asshole? I mean, yeah.
Okay, first off, I want to clarify not one single bit of the sexuality of these people mattered.
No.
I don't know why this had to be included. The problem, is that you are making jokes that are uncomfortable. Now, granted, you got your autism or whatnot. I'm that's a complicated one, but
Yeah.
honestly, I would say here, think before you say. Really, because honestly, I'm gonna say yeah. This person's the a hole because obviously everyone else is like hates you, and you're pinning this on because you're a gay male or something like that. One of them. No, it's probably because you've made jokes about them in the past, or they don't like the jokes that you're making about their friend. So,
Yeah.
like, learn to read the room. Like, I mean, you might be autistic, but look, that's not impossible to do, right? Does that make
For
me the
sure.
a hole for saying that?
It might. Probably. I'll have to check with our lawyers, but
Like, well, but like seriously, because I mean, it might be harder to read a room, but I don't think I don't think autism removes common sense. Anyway, what is this? Am I the a hole for yelling at my sister for making me a sandwich? Yes. Move on. I'm
okay.
not even reading that one. You are. You just absolutely are. I don't care if it's a sandwich that had like meat in it that you didn't like. Eat it. All right. Someone made you a sandwich. Grow up. Uh, eh, am I the a hole for asking my wife to do more around the house? I want to read that one. I and my wife have been married for about 5 years. I love her and our children, but lately I have been super burnt out and my wife has basically given up. To help describe what we have going on, we both come from broken families, so we do not have much outside help. My wife goes to nursing school as well as is the primary caretaker of our kids because I'm out of the house most of the day due to my schedule. Besides nursing school, she does have to deal with her grandfather who lives with us now, and he has nowhere else to go and is suffering from dementia. He is not the nicest fellow. Well, yeah, usually they aren't. My schedule has me out of the house from about 9 a.m. to about 10 p.m. on average, due to my daily work commute being an hour and a half. Then I have night classes during the week, but I feel personally taken advantage of. Hear me out. For a while, I did not complain. My wife always explains how nursing school is exhausting and dealing with her own issues is uh, troubling, plus minding the kids most of the week. We have a babysitter. My oldest goes to school. So most days I would do laundry, sweep, dishes, and on occasion when there's time and just general cleanliness. This went on for years until I began to ask my wife for more help. But she continued to get more and more angry with me and continued to explain how overwhelmed she is. At first, I was very lenient, but now I'm getting extremely burnt out. It's gotten to the point my wife will not do anything without me verbally or texting it to her. Because it's the vicious cycle of her thinking she's not doing enough, thinking sh- thinking she's not doing enough, and her not knowing what to do. She will not do the dishes, not clean, never do the laundry because we had a bad argument about it once, or even pick up after herself unless I instruct her to do so. It's beginning to put a huge strain on me and our relationship. Okay, and people said this guy was the a-hole, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, you know what kids are for? To do work around the house. That's why you have them, so you don't gotta do them anymore. So just tell
Depend,
your kids to do it.
depends on how old the kids are, I would say. But look, I'm not gonna undermine the stress that comes with taking care of kids, a very old member of the family, especially with dementia, and taking on something like nursing school. That all sounds very hard. It really does.
Yeah, I mean, but there comes a point where
I wasn't done
you
yet.
just put too much. Sorry, I just wanted to say this before, like, if I forgot it. Like, there comes a point where you put too much on yourself, like you having to drive an hour and a half to work, an hour and a half back home, also doing night school. Like that's just too much for like one person to really
I'm still I'm
handle with a full family.
I'm still breaking it down. Um, you made me lose track. I like okay. I understand like the struggle of the wife, but that is not a crutch that you can lean like something that you could at least pick up after yourself, right? Or like
Right.
you need to work out like who does what chores, right? But on the other hand, I will say for this guy, uh you chose a job that you live an hour away from, you know, that has a long schedule that's an hour away and does not accommodate your night classes very well, and on top of your wife who is pretty much in the same boat as you really, with how much you're doing, you know minus the primarily taking care of kids. I think they're both the a-hole.
Yeah, I can see that.
I genuinely think they're both the a-hole.
Everyone.
You did not work out a living arrangement. You did not talk about a living arrangement. They've been
Yeah,
married for 5 years. Yeah, you didn't talk about this. You should have talked about this. This should have been like the moment you moved in. It should have been okay. How are we doing this? You clearly
right.
didn't do that. Otherwise, this like wouldn't be happening. You didn't decide who does what chores. You did not make a foundation for how to do this. You're both the a-hole because neither of you are listening to each other really.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the only olive branches I could extend is like, I don't know, I guess wake up an hour earlier and do some work before you leave for work or whatever, or leave. I don't know. But
Well,
that's probably a lot to ask.
I mean, sure, but the only other thing I'd say is like you have your wife taking care of this demented old man, and how many kids does it say?
It just
Our
says
children. It just
children.
says children. I okay, you could assume two at the least, right?
Yeah.
That's still a lot of work. Like obviously she's gonna be burnt the hell out. That's why you should have made this like because I mean, I imagine he's burnt out too. They're both burnt out. It's like, okay, that's part of life. So let's say you have four main chores that need to get done. You should have discussed who does what and when, even. Because it's not like you need to do it every day, you know? Like make one day laundry day. Hopefully you have enough clothes to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, these people, yeah, they just didn't talk about it. They weren't paying attention.
I don't know.
They did not do the main thing that Everyone need like I don't even say should do. You need to do that. You need to make a living arrangement, or a living agreement, I should say, before you start living with someone. Like you need to no. Everyone sucks.
How,
Oh, I love that
how
everyone sucks.
many how many more do we got time for?
Well, we're an hour 10 in, so two more.
One more? Okay.
I
Pick
said
a
I said
pick
two,
your
but
poison. I thought I
uh
heard you say one.
oh well, maybe we'll do one. It depends. Am I the a-hole for not wanting my boyfriend to hang out with his only friend? Do that one. Pull up, bottom,
Uh,
bottom, there. Some context. Me and my boyfriend have been together for almost 2 years. We lived together, moved in together for university. He's not a very social person and considers himself an introvert, whereas I have a rather large friend group and I'm always excited to meet new people. He only has one close friend. It's a woman. Let's call her Jay. Oh, I already have an opinion, to be honest with you. They have a lot of history together and have been friends for years. I went to school. Never mind, my opinion changed. Went to high school with Jay and never been close with her, but I've always considered her a nice person. When me and my boyfriend first met, he was very much in love with Jay. He had told her that 2 times over the course of 3 years, and both times she said she wasn't interested. He was not really interested in other girls when we met, and I had recently gone through a pretty rough breakup, but we got close very quickly, and then one thing led to another, and we started dating. He told me he had gotten over Jay, but I've always found it hard to believe that getting over somebody over the course of a month was possible. After a couple months of me and him dating, he had a fight with Jay and their friendship kind of fell apart. Fast forward to his birthday last year, about a year after our fight, we visit our mutual friend who just happens to be roommates with Jay. He then proceeds to spend most of the night sitting in Jay's room, catching up, not coming out for about 3 hours to spend time with me, or the friend or the friend we were visiting. I was pretty upset uh, by this later. Now they have fully revived their friendship and are keeping in touch pretty regularly, texting, sending TikToks, whatever. Late night gaming, going out with drinks whenever they can, when they be in the same town. I'm afraid he will fall back in love with her, or worse, that he never actually stopped loving her. I've told him on multiple occasions I don't feel comfortable with them still hanging out, but he told me I have nothing to worry about and that he doesn't want to stop being friends with her. I don't want to push because I don't want to be controlling or possessive. Um, am I the a-hole? I'm gonna say no. This isn't even an everyone sucks situation. I'm gonna just say no. Like unless he is okay with her having a guy best friend, the answer is no, because I'm honestly of the mind that, like, if you're dating someone, you should not have a best friend that is female that isn't your girlfriend. Like,
I could see that.
because that's the point of being in a relationship, especially being married. You should not have a best friend of the opposite gender that isn't your husband or wife or whatever.
Yeah, that isn't your significant other.
So I'm gonna say, even though they have been friends for years, at the very least in that situation, since she was around before this girlfriend, then the contact should be cut back, right?
Right.
Like it
I
should
mean,
it should
like
be drastically cut back.
I don't think that there's anything wrong with people having a platonic relationship with the opposite gender, but when it shouldn't be your best friend in the world. You know, you can have female friends if you're a guy, or you can have male friends if you're a girl.
Okay, well,
But like,
what you're talking about is acquaintances,
yeah,
right? Because I like I mean, I'm not gonna start listing my examples live on the podcast, but I have acquaintances, people I'm good with, that I talk to once a week, couple times a week, and then I have friends like Cade, he's my friend. We talk pretty regularly. And then I have you, right? There's that hierarchy of like best friend to acquaintance, you know. Uh I don't think that you can really be platonically friends to like a man and a woman can really be platonically friends entirely. They can, but it's complicated. It is very complicated,
It
especially when you
is.
throw a relationship into the mix. Because if you notice, anytime there's like a group of dudes that has that one girl that hangs out with them, she's like a dude. It's because
Yeah.
you can't actually have a feminine woman mixed in with a bunch of dudes. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
You know,
Throws up a vibe.
that's probably another thing that'll make me the a-hole. But I mean, either way, like that. That's a tangent. But when it comes to a relationship, she's dating this guy. He should not have a female BFF, especially. And if they're going to stay friends, that contact needs to be cut back because that is supposed to be her job. That is
Right.
what she is supposed to be, you know.
I mean, okay, so the only thing I could see is like if they were like childhood best friends, like basically grew up being like brother sister kind of, relationship.
Well, and that's why I'm saying that then that's why in this situation, I wouldn't say that he needs to cut her out entirely, which is where I will go against the girlfriend here. But you need to cut back on that, you know.
Right.
You like, it might suck. You need to add another boundary here, all right? You can't just, talk and hang out and like all hours of the night going out and whatnot. But the general consensus for me is no, she isn't.
Right.
I
Yeah, me
because
too.
because I've been in the same boat as her. I know how it goes. It is not a fun worry. And it's not.
Okay.
It shouldn't be a situation you have to deal with. But
Well, I think that about does it for these Reddit posts.
that was
I
a
think we
yeah,
found a good, a good slew of
that was a lot better.
like mixed,
That was a lot better than
you
our
know.
last Reddit episode.
Don't remind me.
It was a terrible episode.
It was a terrible episode. Yeah, but yeah, I think that does it. If you haven't already, follow our socials on Twitter, Reddit, Facebook, and Instagram. JoBro Radio. Links will be in the description of the YouTube video. Probably, maybe, I don't know.
Probably not.
Also follow our JoBro Gaming underscore TTV Twitch page. We stream on Mondays and Thursdays, usually between 5 and 8 p.m. Also follow our solo stream pages, mine being just underscore Phoenix TTV. I stream around the same time, but Tuesday, Wednesday, all those days. And Frosty Butcher TTV. He streams whenever he wants to.
I've been streaming like every day lately. I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, you wanted to, so you streamed whenever you wanted to.
Yeah, that's true. Well, the thing is, you said I stream whenever I want to. Are you implying that you have a schedule and I don't?
I mean, I try to have a schedule.
I basically already have more of a schedule than you. I still stream more than you. Fuck off.
Yeah, thank you.
Just kidding.
Are you gonna apologize for that one?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay, good. I will say, are we counting stink butt points for all of the curse words we read today?
No, not this one. No.
Okay, good.
This episode is exempt. Well, because we said "Am I the asshole?" a lot. Because that I would, if I applied stink butt points, I would have to apply it to that, and we said that word a lot out of omission. So,
Right.
no. The answer is no. It's not gonna apply.
Good, good, good. Yeah. You got any including notes, buddy?
I think I do. I just need to think about it for a little bit. No,
I
no,
feel like
no.
your concluding note could be about your ears.
My ears? What about them?
Yeah. The story you told me the other day about your
No,
ears
no, no,
and
no.
the piercings.
I'm not sharing. Oh, okay. I'm not gonna tell the story, but I do have a concluding note. When you get your ears pierced or whatever pierced, when you get anything pierced, and then the person who pierced you gives you the aftercare that you need to do, tells you what you need to do it. Just do it. It'll work out best for you and probably anyone that will ever come into physical contact with them. Listen to the professionals is
Same goes for tattoos.
because I did not, and well, I mean, It wasn't as serious as it could have been, but I did pay the consequences for my hubris. As for tattoos, I would say that that's probably a little less detrimental, but because really it's like if you don't take care of it, you'll just mess it up. Like
Right.
that's like the worst thing that can happen from it, I think.
But you also can get bad infections and, probably lose your entire arm or body part, whatever you got it on.
I think that's if you're like a uniquely filthy human being though. I don't think that you'd lose a limb, but look, that's my concluding note, okay? We're not going to drag
Anyways,
this out.
once again, thank y'all for tuning in, listening to us rant and talk and be dumb. Peace.
Peace.